Hey y'all, this is Jessica, bless your heart. Let's do a Christmas Milky Way today. We're going to start with this tumbler that I stripped, and then I went in and did a very good coat of this prime time to kind of just primer it up for me. And I'm going to use the epoxy method for my glitter adhesion. Today's glitters is just going to be one from Michael's that's just red. From Peachy Olive Glitters, we've got Rebel and Cheermeister. From the Glitter Guy, we've got Rainbow Ice, Olaf, and Snakebite. To get my swirl, I'm just going to start with the chunkier of the glitters that I have picked out, and I'm going to move from darkest to lightest, and I'm just going to go in a true swirl where the top and the bottom meet on the same side of the cup. I'm going to start with my chunkiest red, I'm going to go to my chunkiest green, and then I'm going to go to my chunkiest white. As you can see, I'm not really worried about full coverage or not full coverage. I am really kind of dumping this on because I want a lot of that dimension in there. But now that I've got my chunkies laid, I'm going to go back with the fines that I picked out. And I'm just going to go back over and try to fill in like potholes. If there's any blank spots or anything like that, I am not going for a blend or an ombre or anything of that nature. I'm just trying to get all three of these glitters on this cup in a solid form. And this is the same as before. I'm going to start with my red, I'm going to go to my green, and then I'm going to end with my white, and just to kind of get all of those laid down. Once I finish kind of sprinkling this fine white all over, I am going to roll this up as best I can because there is a lot of glitter on this cup. And I'm going to let this layer of epoxy dry, and I am going to put 2 layers of epoxy on this cup. Second layer we are going to leave wet and get ready for our micas. Okay, here is our second layer of epoxy, and I did a light sanding in between. I'm going to stop my turner and epoxy my handle because I do not want any pooling around the edges of that handle if I can keep from it. But once I get this layer of epoxy on there, I'm going to split up what's left in my little medicine cup, and I'm going to get ready to put my micas in there. For my micas today, I'm going to use the Glitter Guy, Grape Ice, Mr. Fancy Pants, Freddy K, and just some random green that I have found. I'm going to put just a couple of scoops per little pot of epoxy, mix it up real good, and then we're going to just lay it out on the cup. For my Milky Way today, I don't want a whole bunch of these colorants all over the whole cup. So I'm going to, once I get all these micas mixed up in this epoxy, I'm going to lay down a very thick ribbon of each color in the corresponding glitter, and then I'm going to get ready for the next step. Once I'm happy with how I have these colorants laid down, I'm going to go in and take a gloved hand, and I'm going to kind of just very gently glide the colorants where I want them. I'm going to end up going color by color doing this, and I am starting with the lightest, and I'm going to wipe my finger off between each color. What I'm doing is kind of just feathering the colors out, and I'm going to end up scooping some of it out because, like I said before, I don't want all of that pretty glitter covered with all this mica. Once I get all of that kind of swirled how I want it, I do want it to look like there is some iridescence floating on the glitter, but I don't want it to be completely covered. That's just my preference with this cup. But I do realize about this time that I want something extra on it. So I'm going to go over to my glitter wall and I'm going to pick out my gold flake. I'm going to mix that in with the little bit of epoxy that I have left over in my pot. And I'm just going to use my little stir stick to kind of just place this here and there. I don't want full coverage of this in any form or fashion. And I'm going to kind of smush it out where it kind of flares on its own. And then I'm going to epoxy this until smooth. And here we go. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.